Clean, the 2022 film, just came out today on January the 28th, 2022. And it was a movie. Can't say it was great. Let me start from the beginning. This movie, if you ever saw the trailers, it looked like it was going to be something akin to a John Wick film. You know, an action, take revenge on everybody kind of story. The trailers, like in most instances, I will say right now, kind of gave away most of the movie. Most of it, not all of it, but a good portion of it. And one of my biggest fears going into this was the memory from 2020 of the movie The Tax Collector with I think it was Shia LaBeouf in The Tax Collector. And that had that same kind of vibe as the trailers for Clean did. So coming into this one, starring Adrian Brody, I was a little bit skeptical because I got burned pretty badly on The Tax Collector, as you can see from the review on this channel. And I had tapered my expectations a lot more than I normally would have going into a film like this just because of that experience. But I gave it a shot. I saw it, and let's talk about this. Now, I'm not going to give away the spoilers, of course, because the movie just came out today. That would be like a mega dick move. So I'm not going to give away the movie. Don't worry about it. But let's get into this. So Adrian Brody plays your standard, very standard, tormented character with a shady past that no one knows. No big secret there, man. That's basically every one of these movies. And then they really kind of like pad out the movie. Like, I mean, like they pad this thing enough where if you were committed to it, if you were committed to the asylum, this would be the most comfortable room you were ever placed in. This thing is padded to all hell. On a 90-minute film, 50 minutes of it are pure, unadulterated padding. Pure padding. The other 40 minutes, touch and go. In totality, 6 minutes of watchable movie. 6 minutes. But anyways, Adrian Brody plays a tormented character with a dark and shady past. I'll be honest with you, I was so kind of disconnected while watching this part of the movie. I was roaming the stock market and Reddit while I was watching this part because it just was not that interesting in any way, shape, or form. I just couldn't care less. So he plays the tormented character. They build up the two characters in the trailers, the black girl and the black grandma. They build them up and they kind of give you like they're not even really backstory. Actually, they don't really have a backstory. At least I didn't catch one. They kind of play like a what's the word I'm looking for? They kind of play like a surrogate character to Adrian Brody's backstory, but it's nothing like major. In fact, quite honestly, had they replaced it with a character that was spotted in the junkyard, that would have been a better movie. A much, much better movie than having these two characters in there. And it just, I couldn't care if anything happened, if anything was done with these characters, because they were so bland and just so hollow in their writing that just nothing was there. They were literally just a plot point device. And going into it, I will say through the trailer where he breaks into the house and beats everyone up, in a lot of movies, this would have been kind of a build-up to the character, a build-up to, introducing the other side, the dark and shady past of him and unveiling all of his, ex-military, hitman, commando, Green Beret, Navy SEAL skills. But that's not the case in this one. I will say that part where he breaks into the house and beats up all the people, that's actually the pivot point of the entire movie. I was very shocked by that. That was the pivot point to the whole movie. So what in a trailer, what would have been like a throwaway scene was actually a pretty critical part to building the story of this film. But it's not the action-packed movie I think you're going to be wanting going into it if you saw the trailers. It's not that. This is very much a It's kind of a cross between John Wick and the Tax Collector. It's not the full bait and switch of Tax Collector, but it's a partial bait and switch for the John Wick side. And there was even a scene in the final third act where they just cut to the kind of like the end result. They show you no process of how it was done. It was just cut straight to the end result. And that was just really disappointing because that could have padded out the movie with maybe 5 more minutes or 3 more minutes or even 2 more minutes of watchable parts versus the story buildup. They could have done so much more with it, but instead they just like cut right to the end. Not the best. I wasn't overly invested in any of the characters in this movie. In fact, I wasn't invested in any characters of this movie, not even Adrian Brody's character, and he's literally the star of the film. I had no interest in anyone here because no one was given any time to like breathe and develop in 50 minutes of movie runtime for that portion where you would build up the stuff normally. No one was built up. Every character is just kind of there. I don't know what shithole place this takes part in. It looks pretty poor, so let's call it Detroit. It looks really stupid. It just shows a lot of like crime, just crime everywhere to show you how like dingy and dirty this world that they're taking part in is. But once again, not invested. As you can tell, even with me describing the film, I just finished watching it. I am not even kidding. It is 3:57. I just finished watching this movie, and then I turned on the camera to record this review, and I have already forgotten a lot of the parts of this film, and it cannot have been more than 3 minutes since I just finished. It's very, very forgettable. Once again, not Tax Collector bait and switch, but not John Wick levels of promise either. It just wasn't good. In 90 minutes of runtime, you could easily, without hesitation, even myself, as the garbage potato YouTuber that I am, I could probably cut this film down and still retain 90% of the story with, I don't know, maybe 60 minutes. I could probably cut a solid 30 right out of it without even thinking. Because there's just so many parts where it's just like, they're just going through the daily life to kind of build up his character, but they're doing such a poor job of it that it just eats up time. Like I said, browsing Reddit and the stock market because I just wasn't invested in the first 50 minutes of this film. I knew what parts I came here for because I saw them in the trailer, because like every company, they give you away the movie in the trailer. So I was there for that part, and yeah, just wasn't that great. Now, they are showing this in theaters, I guess in like limited release kind of thing, but you can find this on streaming services as well. So I would say definitely don't go to a theater for this. This is not a big screen movie at all. This is not even a matinee movie at all. So don't bother with that. Find it on your local streaming service. Watch it there in the afternoon. This is not a let's sit down with the girlfriend or boyfriend kind of thing and watch this at night as a date night thing. This is not that movie. Don't do that. Watch this in the afternoon and then come back in the night and watch John Wick. Okay? But that is kind of my thoughts in my little synoptic review. It's hard not to talk about spoilers, mainly because, like I said, that one scene in the trailer is literally the pivot point to the whole story. But it's also so predictable that based on what I've given you, you should be able to piece together what I'm talking about. You really should. If you know anything about any of these type of movies, you know exactly what I just talked about. So skip it if you want. Find it on your local streaming service. You're paying for the service anyway. May as well use the time. And yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this kind of like free thoughts, the stream of consciousness thoughts review of Clean 2022. That's not the full title of the movie. The movie's just called Clean. I'm putting 2022 there because there was another movie called Clean that came out in, I think, in like 2020 or 2018. So just trying to differentiate. So this is Clean, bracket 2022. Skip over it. You know what? I'm just going to save you the time. Just skip over it. There's no need. You don't have to see this movie. You're not going to miss anything. So thanks so much, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it's been a long time since I did reviews. I shockingly watched actually a movie a week through all of 2021 to like do reviews, and I just never felt like actually recording the reviews. But I don't know. I might come back to it. I might not. But I really want to see this movie, and now that I've seen it and had my heart broken, I want to make sure your heart's broken too. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.